Just go to the slide mode or PPT mode. In last class, you learned about orthogonal projection, right? So in this class, we'll be talking about the perspective projection. So in this entire class, we will uh, talk about perspective projection. So after that, we will see the support, the functions which are there from OpenGL for this thing. So first of all, perspective projection. So what is perspective projection means? You know thing. In perspective projection means it will give you a realistic display where the smaller objects, the objects which are far away, it will look smaller, and the objects which are very nearer to the view plane, they will look larger. So that thing you should keep in mind when we are talking about the perspective projection. So here the same thing with respect to the coordinate systems, how it is being handled. So all these things we will just look into that. So first one, so so parallel projection is easy to generate. See, parallel projection is easy to generate because the size will not change. The size will not change. So generating a parallel projection is very easy. But when it comes to perspective projection, the generation will take some complexities involved, because you know that in parallel projection, what you need to do is you just need to draw the parallel lines so that the object proportion will be maintained, and the object doesn't need to be realistic. But when you're talking about this perspective projection, you can see that, see, some object, it is converging to some point beyond the view plane. So this is the view plane. So beyond this view plane, some two lines are converging. So this is how it is done in the cameras also. So the camera picture also. So you need to consider the rays from the objects in the scene which are converging to a point. So the camera will work on this principle also. The whatever the reflected rays is coming, so from that object in a particular frame, that will converge to some point on the camera film. So the same thing is being uh, implemented in perspective projection. So where what we are doing means, we are from the object, you are drawing some lines from the object. So this is the object. From this object, you are drawing the lines which are converging at some point beyond the projection plane. So beyond the projection plane, so this point at which it is converging, you will call it as the projection reference point. So what we are doing means, here we are approximating the object by projecting the object to the view plane along the converging path to some position beyond the view plane, which we will call it as the projection reference point. So the objects will be displayed with. So if you're doing like this, the objects will be displayed with um, shortening effect. So the object would look relatively smaller when compared to that. And uh, as the distance between the view plane and the object is larger, the object will look very smaller. And if the distance between the view plane and the object is smaller, the object will look larger. So the distance objects are smaller when compared to the objects that are nearer to the screen. So here you can see, so this object will look smaller on the screen compared to this object, because the distance between this view plane and this object is very small compared to the distance between the view plane and the object. So this is how the perspective projection works. Now the next one on the right hand side, so you can see that this is a point. So this is a point um, at some position given by x comma y comma z. So this point, it is being projected. So this point is being projected to some reference point. So some reference point which is given by, so the projection reference point given by x reference point, y reference point, z reference point. So there is some point. So there is some point which is given by x comma y comma z coordinate system, the spatial position. So it is being projected. It is being projected along a line to convert that some point which is given by which we call it as a projection reference point, which we can call it as projection reference point. No, so x PRP, y PRP, z PRP. PRP refers to the projection reference point. So this projection line, it is intersecting, so it is intersecting the view plane. This projection line, this line is intersecting the view plane at the position which is given by xp, yp, and zvp. So the projection line is intersecting the view plane at the spatial position which is given by xp, yp, zp. So what is the zvp means? It is the uh, position for the view plane on the z view axis. The position zvp means it's the position for the view plane on the z view axis. So from this you can write the equation. So from this you can write the equation which will describe the coordinate positions x dash, y dash, and z dash in the parametric form. In the parametric form as x dash is equal to x minus x prp into u, y minus of y prp into u, where the value of u will be in the range of 0 to 1. So what is this x dash, y dash, z dash means? They are the points along this line. They are the points along this projection line. See the coordinate position x dash, y dash, z dash. They are the coordinate positions along this projection line. So here, so the equation for the coordinate points x dash, y dash, z dash is given by these three equations, and you know the value of u is between 0 to 1. So what will happen? So now when the value of u is 0, when u is 0 means these terms will get cancelled up because you're multiplying with 0. So x dash will become x, y dash will become y, and z dash will become z. Y dash will become y, z dash will become z. So what is that equation means? This point. So when when u is 0 means we will be at the position, the spatial position x comma y comma z. When u is 1 means, we told that the value of u is between 0 to 1. So when u is 0, you will get this equation. When u is 1 means what will happen? So this is 1, so x minus x will get cancelled up, x and x will get cancelled, this will become plus plus plus. So the equations will be x dash is equal to x prp, y dash is equal to y prp, and z dash is equal to z prp. So this is the equation which you will get when u is equal to 1. So what is that point means? They are the projection reference point. This one, they are the projection reference point. So like this you can obtain the parametric equation with respect to u. So when u is equal to 0, you are getting the spatial position x comma y comma z, and when u is equal to 1, you are getting the other end of the line. So you are getting the other end of the line. So this is one thing. So once u is equal to 0 and once u is equal to 1, we have got the two endpoints of the line. So once the two endpoints of the line is obtained, and then these are the special cases which we will discuss. So we know that on the view plane here z dash is equal to z view p on the view plane. So this is on the view plane. On the view plane, x dash will be equal to xp, y dash will be equal to yp, and z dash will be equal to zvp. So once that is done, um you can you can solve for the z dash equation for the parameter u at this position along the projection line, which is given by u is equal to zvp minus z divided by z proportion minus z. So you know that along the view plane, we have x dash is equal to xp, y dash is equal to yp, and z dash is equal to zvp. Using this z dash equation for the parameter u along this projected line, so we can calculate the value of u as the difference between zvp minus z and the z proportion minus z. So once this is done, you can use the value of u. You can use the value of u, which is calculated as zvp minus z by zprp minus z, to get the equation, to get the general equation. Xp is equal to x into, this is the u value. So this is the um, this you can see, this is the u value. This is also the u value. So using this, you can substitute this value of u. You can substitute this value of u in this equation. You can substitute the value of u in this equation to obtain the general perspective transformation equation. So this is the general perspective transformation equation. Xp is equal to x into some value of zprp minus zvp, that is that you can take it as 1 over u also. So using that, we are obtaining this equation xp and yp. So see, this calculation and all will be more complex. So I'm just giving the equation. So you just need to remember this general equation xp and yp. So what is this xp and yp means? This positions xp, yp, zvp. So after this, we are considering the special cases. We are considering the special cases. We have 4 cases. So this is case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4. So all these cases, they are derived. They are derived from the this general equation. From the general perspective projection equation, we are generating 4 different cases. So the first case is, see, the first case is, um, we are considering only the z view axis. So we are limiting the position, we are limiting the reference point, we are limiting the projection reference point along the z view axis. We are limiting the projection reference point along the z view axis. So since we are doing like this, since we are projecting this projection reference point along the z view axis, what will happen means the x projection and y projection will become 0, since we are limiting our projection point along the z view axis. So x projection and z projection will x projection and y projection will become 0. So once it is becoming 0 means, in the general equation, this term and this term will get 0. So that is the first case. So the first case is xp is equal to x into zprp minus zvp divided by zprp minus zp. So what is this? This is when the x projection and y projection is made 0 by considering only the z view axis. The first scenario. The second situation, so this is for the first situation, where we are considering only the z view projection axis. The second scenario is, I'm making the reference point x projection reference xprp, yprp, and zprp at the origin. So these positions are fixed at the origin. Since it is at the origin, the values will be 0, 0, 0. So what equations I will get? So this is 0, this is 0, this will be 0, this will be 0. So I will get it as minus, and minus will become plus. X into zvp by z, y into zvp by z. So that is the second case I am getting. X into zvp by z, y into zvp by z. Okay. So this is the second situation. The third situation, where we are talking about the UV plane, where we are the view plane is in UV plane, and we don't have any restrictions. We don't have any restrictions on the placement of reference point. So in that situation, ZVP will be 0. ZVP will be 0. When ZVP becomes 0, we will get this equation. We'll get this equation xp is equal to x into zprp by zprp minus z, because I'm making zvp to be 0. ZVP to be 0. So this is the third situation. This is the third scenario. Third scenario. So after this the last one. So after this the last one. So here also we have UV plane, but the projection reference point. Is on the Z view axis. Um, the third scenario, we were on the UV plane, but there was no restriction on the placement of the projection reference point. So that's why ZVP became 0. But now we are on the UV plane, but the projection reference point is on the Z view axis. So that's why X projection, Y projection, and ZVP, all three will become 0. So when all the three will become 0, all the three will become 0. So this will become 0, 0, and these terms will get cancelled. X projection, Y projections are 0. So this will be the equation which you are going to get. So um, so this is a one example. See, one thing is, see what you should do means, so we have so many equations, right? So you just remember this general equation. You remember this general equation. So from the general equation, you derive the four equations. One is at the origin, one is ZVP 0, that is UV plane, and the other one is X projection, Y projection, and ZVP is 0. So like this you derive the cases, and in the first cases X projection and Y projection was 0, no? So like this, take the general equation. From the general equation, you derive that. So don't try to mug it up and all the four cases, that is not necessary. Remember the general equation, practice the general equation. From the general equation, you prepare the cases, you prepare the four cases, or you generate the four cases. So that will be um, the one thing which is better from the examination point of view. So don't try to remember all the four equations. General equation is sufficient, and the general cases. So once you know the equations, you can derive them accordingly. So this is regarding the projection equations. So after this, we have two images on the left hand side and the right hand side. So um, see, see, one thing is like, if the projection, see if the projection point, see if the projection point is on the view plane, then if this projection point, where is it? If this projection point, it is on the view plane, then the entire scene will be considered like a single point. So that's why the view plane will be usually placed between the projection reference point and the actual scene. So usually this will be the view plane. So this will be the view plane. So you'll have the projection reference point and one second. Okay. So usually this reference point will not be on the view plane. So it will be between the view plane. It will be between the scene and the view plane. So why? Because so that you will see the entire object. You will see the entire object. If it is on the view plane, means you will just see it as the point. So but in some situations the view, this projection point, it can be in front of the view plane also. It can be in front of the view plane also. In that situation the object will look inverted. See, this is the object which I'm trying to focus, but that object will look inverted. So this point you should keep it in mind. So if the see, if the projection reference point is between the view plane and the scene, then the objects will look inverted. So that is the one thing. And the second image. So here, there are the image will also depend on the distance also. It will also depend on the distance between the projection reference point and the view plane also. And the view plane also, you can see we have three um, three perspective effects. See, you can see that, you can see how the image is looking. So one thing here, it looks larger, it looks larger. If I project this, the image will be like somewhere here, and in this situation the image will be somewhat here. So the distance also matters. The distance also matters. See, the perspective effect, it will depend on the distance between the projection reference point and the view plane also. If the projection reference point is closer to the view plane, it will look enlarged. It will look enlarged. The first scenario, the first situation, that is, the closer objects will appear very much larger than the distance objects which are of the same size. Similarly, when the projection reference point are moved farther from the clipping window, no, clipping window in the sense farther from the view plane, um, the difference in the size will also decrease. So when the projection point, when the reference point is very far, then it will be like parallel projection. It will be like parallel projection. See, it's three scenario. Here the object will look very larger, but here the object size will be much smaller when compared to this. But in this case the reference point is like almost parallel, so it will be a case of parallel projection. So it will be a case of parallel projection, or you can call it as the perspective projection is becoming a parallel projection when the projection reference point is very far away from the view plane. So these are the three situations. So one thing, very closer to the view plane, it looks larger. That is, object is appearing very much larger. Um, Second situation, when the reference point is moving far away from the view plane, the object size will decrease. The size of the object looks decreased. Third case, when the object is when the reference point is very large, or very far away, not large, very far away. In that case, it is almost becoming a parallel projection. So these are the three situations based on the distance of the projection reference point from the clipping window or the viewing window. So, uh, so, so now we have come up with vanishing point. So, what is this vanishing point means? You can see um, here drawing a parallel line. This I'm drawing a parallel line, and I'm drawing a parallel lines. See, here we are projecting a scene. Here we are projecting a scene into the view plane by using the lines that are parallel to the view planes. So these lines will be projected as parallel lines, but the parallel lines in this scene which are not parallel to the view plane, they will be projected into a converging point. So they will be projected into converging point. So the point at which these parallel lines will start to converge. So we will call it as the vanishing point. You can see these lines which are projected parallelly, they are converging at some point at very far away distance. So this point is known as vanishing point. So each set of this parallel lines will have a separate vanishing point. So here you can see, here we have only one vanishing point, and here you can see we have two vanishing point, one for z-axis vanishing point and the other one for x-axis vanishing point. So what is this? For a set of lines which are parallel to one of the parallel axis of the object, the vanishing point is also known as the principal vanishing point. So you can control the number of principal vanishing points. So it can be like 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, based on the orientation of the projection plane. And also this perspective projections can be classified based on the vanishing point also. 1 point perspective projection, 2 point perspective projection. So this is an example of 1 point projection, 2 point perspective projection, 3 point perspective projection. So here the number of principal axis or the number of principal vanishing point in the projection will be equal to the number of principal axis which will intersect the view plane. So this images. So here we have images. Here we have images where B is representing the 1 point projection, 1 point perspective projection, where it is parallel to the XY object and it is intersecting only with the Z axis. So and we have one more image and we have one more image where we have 2 point where we have 2 point projection where the projection is intersecting with x-axis. Vanishing point means x-axis, the plane is intersecting with the x-axis, and z-axis vanishing point means it is intersecting with the z-axis, but it is not intersecting with the y-axis. So we have got the 2 point projection. We have got the 2 point projection. So this is with respect to the vanishing points that are used for perspective projections. So apart from this, um, we have perspective projection view volume. So how it is created means, so so this in parallel projection also, we have spoken about the near clipping plane, the far clipping plane. So there we had drawn something like this. So in front of the clipping window, we had near clipping plane and far clipping plane. I'll just show that. So this one. So here also you can see the near clipping plane, the far clipping plane. The same thing how how it is implemented in um, perspective projection. So here also, um see here also, uh, we are specifying the rectangular clipping window. Here also, the rectangular window, the clipping window is in the form of rectangular one, but but the bounding planes, but the planes which are bounding this are not parallel. You can see the lines are not parallel, so it is getting what do we call it, is diverging. So you can see that the size of this rectangle is very much larger when compared to the clipping window, and the size of the far clipping plane is also very much larger. So here the bounding planes for the view volume are not parallel, because the lines are in case of projection parallel, sorry, the perspective projection, the lines are not parallel. So the top, bottom, and the side faces of the view volume are planes through the window edges which will intersect at the projection reference point. So all these things, the top side, the bottom side, the side face, they are intersecting at the projection reference point. So what it looks like, see, this will form a pyramid like thing. So it will form a pyramid like structure with that with the top of the pyramid, you can take it as the projection reference point, which will call it as apex. So what it is doing means, so this is forming a view volume. So this kind of projection is forming a view volume, which is a rectangular pyramid, with the apex in the sense the top with its apex at the center of the projection. See, all the objects that are outside this pyramid, all the objects outside this pyramid will be eliminated means it will not be displayed, and this kind of projection is known as pyramid of vision, because it is similar to the mechanism which takes place in our eyes also. Eyes or camera, like the cone of vision in our eyes. So the display of a scene will include only those objects that are there inside the pyramid. So whatever is there inside the pyramid, that will be captured, and whatever is not beyond that will not be, like which are outside this pyramid, will not be captured. So what we are doing means, um, we are adding the clipping planes. We are adding the near clipping plane and far clipping plane also. So by adding this clipping planes such that they are perpendicular to the z view axis, so we will remove some part of the perspective projected like the perspective projection volume, or to form a truncated pyramid, or which we will call it as the frustum view value. See, actually this will be very infinite. So this will be very infinite. So for this we are adding these clipping planes. So we are adding these clipping planes to truncate this pyramid, to form a rectangular frustum view volume. So um, you can see, you can imagine that. So by adding this, uh, what we did, we are just truncating the infinite pyramid to form a rectangular frustum view volume. So this is how it is being constructed for perspective projection. So perspective projection. So for this we have the transformation matrix also. For this we have some transformation matrix, like where we are using the homogeneous representation, where x projection is given by, so in the previous case xp was x and yp was y, but here xp is given by xh by h and yp is given by yh by h, uh, and this h is given by the difference between the z projection minus the z coordinate value. So similarly you can derive the equations of xh yh also. You can derive the equations of xh and yh also. So that I think I have not copied from this textbook. So it is a difference between x into z projection minus z view volume plus xprp into z vp minus z. So you can see this is the same one, the same which we referred in the previous case. So here z y, no, y into zprp minus zvp plus yprp into zvp minus z. See, x and only thing is this values are changing. So so these are the equations. So these are the parameters. So using this parameter you can generate a transformation matrix. You can generate a transformation matrix which will convert the spatial positions to homogeneous coordinates, so that the matrix will contain only the perspective parameters and not the coordinate value. So you can see it contains only the perspective parameters. It doesn't have any coordinate values like x, y, and z. So how this will be formed means, so this can be formed um, by the equation ph is equal to this matrix into p. So ph means it's a combination of xh, yh, zh, and h. P means it's a combination of x, y, z, 1. So like this, um, we can use this. So getting getting this perspective transformation is a two-step process. First, you calculate the homogeneous coordinate using the formula which I have written. You can take it as equation 1. So once the formula is obtained, once this pH is obtained, um, you can you can get the homogeneous coordinates which are divided by the h parameter. So once this is obtained, you can get the homogeneous parameter, which is nothing but you are dividing it by the h parameter h to get the true transformation coordinate position. So here you can see we have sz and tz. So s refers to the scaling. S refers to the scaling values, and t refers to the translation value. So it depends on the normalization. It depends, the value of this scaling and transformation depends on the normalization which we get. So this is regarding the perspective projection transformation matrix. So like this we have like this we have so many values. So next thing will be like we'll be talking about symmetric perspective projection frustum. So where you are dividing, where you are dividing this view into two parts. where you are dividing this view into two parts equally, left hand side, right hand side. So the calculation will be based on the width here. The calculation will be based on the width and height. Similarly, we have for that also you'll just check this frustum view volume, and the angle where you will calculate tan theta and cot theta values based on the trigonometric references. So after that, we have one more thing, the oblique. So here, see, you earlier it was dividing equally, but now it is at some angle. Now it is at some angle. Now it is at some angle. The second situation. So for that you will be using some shear values will come into play. So what is the shear transformation which you are using? So so after that, the normalized perspective transformation, so which we will see it in the next class. So we have so many equations which are derived one after the other. So these are the three things are there. These three things, one is a symmetric one, and the other one is oblique perspective projection transformation, and the normalized perspective projection transformation coordinates, so which I'll explain it in the next class. See, one thing is, don't mug up the equations, just try to derive them um, from the generalized one. So you remember the general equation. From the general equation, you just derive that. So see, in this module, most of the questions will come from parallel projection or perspective projection itself. So general equations, you just um, remember that, so it will be easy for you. So okay, I'll just stop the class now. The remaining thing we will just check in the um, next classes. The three concepts are, that we will cover it in the next classes. So any doubts? So I'll just stop sharing the slides. Any doubts? Any doubts? Fine, then I'll just stop the session then. So whatever is, I will see you in the next classes.